Hey, I'm your host, Daniel Martinez. We have a returning guest, Braxton Harrison. If you have not heard the episode, please go check it out. He's the youngest fund manager in Texas. So go check it out. But we have returning guest, Braxton Harrison. But today, we cover cool, interesting stories. So Braxton's always got a bunch of stories, and hanging out with Corey for a day, you have a story. So he's going to tell us an interesting story. What you got, Braxton?
Well, this is about a flip that we just did. We had some content on it go viral, a couple million views, I think, on YouTube and TikTok. Basically, the house that we bought, there's a room in there with a ton of blood, and it very clearly looked like a murder scene. So this house is Granbury, Texas. Bought a trailer house, 40,000. We get in there, and essentially, like, the master bedroom had, like, the subfloor was almost rotted out. This stuff was so soaked in. There's definitely blood, and a large amount of it. We're cleaning out this house, and the first thing that we noticed before we even got to that room is every flip house has a distinct smell to it.
Okay.
It's just a stale air, fridge has been slightly left open with no power. Just there's some funk going on in there, And in this one, there wasn't that. It smelled kind of clean, and that was a red flag because it just never happens. It's too perfect. It smells a little bit too much like chemicals in there. And so we get to this place and we're cleaning it out, and we get to this bedroom with all this blood in there. And it's like also weird. Like it's splattered on the cabinets, it's splattered on the door, it's splattered on like the ceiling. The mattress that was in there was just soaked with all this stuff. And it was pretty foul. So essentially, we ended up getting the police involved so they can come out there and check it out. And we just told them, like, hey, look, we bought this place. We never got inside. We're in here now. Looks like there's a lot of blood. So they became a crime scene. They went in there. They did all their tests and everything. Ended up being a dog. But the thing about it so we called the previous owner when we didn't know what it was. We're like, hey, we're here. We're messing with it, and there's a lot of blood in here, man. Like there's a lot of weird just kind of stuff. And he's like, I don't know anything about that. And he's like, did nothing die in here? He's like, nope, nothing died in there. There shouldn't be anything in there. I don't know what you're talking about. And he like didn't want to be on the phone, didn't want to talk to us, and was just like, nope, and we're like, was there any animals in there or anything? He's like, no, there's no animals. Nobody died in there. Nobody was living in there. And it's yeah.
Hang up.
Yeah. Seriously. And so that's what was weird about it. But the funny part of that whole story was that day we were shooting content to come check out this flip that we're doing. Yeah, I get there before everyone else, and I went ahead. We already had a dumpster there, and so I took out everything from the house already, and I had already cleaned it out. And then Corey gets there, he's ready to shoot content. He's like, "Where's this murder scene?" I'm like, "Well, it's all out here in the yard now because I'm cleaning out this house." It's like, "Nah, we got to put it all back.
Trash. It's in the trash."
Yeah. So for the
Yeah, we had to mess with it three times.
Yep. So out and out. But whenever he's like, we got to put all this shit back, I was like, all right, fair enough. Like I just at that point, I knew there's no point in arguing with it. I'm like, okay,
it's gonna make a good video,
It did, it did because then we had some of the trash out and just the furniture that was like really weird, and it did. You can look at it and try to figure out what went on in there. But our general theory is, I don't think something just laid down and died right there. Something was definitely shot right there, or stabbed, or something. Just because there's too much splatter everywhere. But I guess they just killed some animals in there, which is pretty foul. But that was that. That's a most recent flip we just did in Granbury. Bought it this summer, 40,000. We're under contract to sell it for 125 right now. So ended up working out all right. But that was that.
That is insane. I think you guys have the craziest stories I always hear because you guys do a lot of like rentals on mobile homes, and you guys got all the stories.
Yeah, there's always something. I mean, it's different crackheads, different people wanting to fight, different people freaking out. I mean, there's one in West Texas that we did probably about a year ago now. We bought it, closed on it, confirmed with the owner, like, hey, are the tenants moving out? And he's like, yeah, they're moving out. And I think it was about a month after we closed it. He's like, okay, I confirmed with them, they're moved out. And so there's a day we're like, okay, let's go clean it out. I backed the dump trailer up to the front porch, And a clean out's a little bit different than a set out. Set out, we're being respectful with their stuff and carrying it out. A clean out, we own it, and they don't live there. We're throwing everything into the dump trailer from as far as we can, see how hard we can throw it, like who can throw the recliner the furthest, stuff like that.
Breaking the glass,
Yep.
you get the baseball bat, you're having a rec room in there,
Yeah, we're just having fun with it. And we've got about half this trailer full,
Oh, no.
and someone rolls up. Okay, this is you know,
Hey, how you
and
doing?
this this lady that probably weighs like 90 pounds with no teeth gets out and starts yelling at me and the other fella that were there cleaning it out, freaking out. And she's like, "What are you doing here? This, that." I was like, "Hey, look, we're some fella hired us to clean this out. I don't know." She's like, "I live here. This is all my stuff." And she's like, "My son's coming here, and he's not going to be okay with this." I'm like, "Oh man, it's you know."
What
Um,
was it? The previous owner lied to you?
she said that she wasn't supposed to be out yet. This is
Uh,
the previous tenant, and we had basically all of her stuff in the trailer.
the dumpster.
Um, but the part of the thing was though is like if we went into a perfectly untouched house, we would ask a couple more questions. And I'll tell you, this one, I don't know how anybody was living there. The smells in this thing, like just rotten food and like old stuff and just dog hair and dog shit. Like it was disgusting in there. And it was just, and then it was awkward because now we've got this lady like freaking out. And I understand why. All
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
stuff's in bags in the back of a trailer, but like she was not all there and she was freaking out. And I was like, it's about to get weird in here. But I just kept saying, "Nah, Jason Witherspoon hired me. I don't know. I don't know what's going
You're
on."
never the decision maker.
No, no. Some fella at the Home Depot asked me to come do this for $50. Like I don't know what's going on here.
I better get my $50 after this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I
That's
mean, you run across stuff like that, man. It's just it's always you never know what you're gonna run into, but yeah, for sure, it's interesting to say the least.
keep seeing the action though. Well, I
Yeah,
think that is a great deal breakdown for today. Braxton, where can people find you online? I think this is so crazy. You got a bunch of crazy stories, but
yeah.
be tuned for next time. Maybe we get some more next time. But where can we find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Real Braxton Harrison, Facebook Braxton Harrison, or Twitter at Big Money Brax, TikTok King.Brax, anything like that. Look me up, hit me up, talk real estate. No, that's about it.
There you go. For everybody here, go like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. You know what to do. See you on the next episode. Thanks for coming in, Brax. Thanks for your time. And for everybody
Thank you.
here, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.